Porch. This is a space to talk everything growth, spirituality, change, negative thinking, everything. Anything we want to talk about. Today we have Mariyln Friedland, lead singer of Run Raquel.
Thank you for that introduction.
Yes, of course. So I want to know a little bit about you. So tell me a little bit about your journey and how you became a singer and everything like that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so throwback. Yeah, I started singing when I was really young. I was probably about 5 years old, and I've always just admired people that got up in front of people and kind of just like let their emotions go and just be vulnerable in front of an audience. So I've always wanted to do that since I was little. And I, joined choruses throughout like middle school and high school. And, then when I got out into college, after college and everything, I started wanting to form my own band. And I did that. And ever since I've been playing music and singing, and it's been awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But yeah. Just like anything, it's hard work, but it's a ton of fun, and I love it. So
it takes a special individual to get up on stage and really capture the audience.
Yeah,
I've been to a few of her shows, and you and your band definitely do that.
Thank you.
So I think it does take a special individual.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when I grew up, I was in choir and things like that, but I hated being on stage. It was like terrifying to me.
We did a stage thing together.
Well, those are in front of children, like a very long time ago. So I think that's really cool. So when it comes to your music and things like that, do you find that you just get these like pings from the universe or God or spirituality or whatever,
Yeah. Well, I try to especially when I'm writing, be really in tune with my environment, and also just try to pay more attention, because sometimes when you're zoned out, or if you're on your phone, or if you're just your head's in a bunch of places, it's really hard to be creative with anything you do.
Yeah.
So I try to let that all go and really be in the moment, and listen to people and take in conversations, because there's inspiration all around us.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to talk to different people and get their stories too, because I can always incorporate that into my message and my music as well. So.
Oh, that's really cool. So let's see. How are some things, everybody gets negative thinking or doubts themselves, and I think because you are an artist and you're on stage a lot, that's, like you said, that's vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there for people to see you. And at some points it's kind of raw too, And so what do you do to combat any negative thought processes, or that little person in the back of your head?
Yeah. It's definitely something I struggle with, and I think a lot of people in the arts, or just everyone in general, struggles with that, having those negative thoughts, or thinking you're not good enough, or you're comparing yourself to other people. And especially with social media and us all on our phones all the time, and how we're so connected to each other, we compare ourselves to other people all the time. So and that can it can get you down when you look at other people, but you have to just separate that and be you're on your own journey, this is your path, you're not doing things like anyone else, and why would you want to? Because this is all your what makes up your story. So you can't really compare yourself to other people, and I always tell myself that. So never compare yourself to anyone else. You are your own unique person. You're your own unique artist. And then I like to be around people that lift me up and bring me positive vibes. My sister, I like to be around her. Honestly, she really helps. If I'm going through something and I feel down about something, or an opportunity passed me that I wish would have went through but didn't, and we all get down when stuff like that happens. But she's always there to be hey, this is one thing, and there's so much more out there, so just keep doing it, keep spreading love, keep attracting what you want to attract, and you'll get there. But it's all just about that law of attraction. You gotta attract what you want. I want to do this, and if you put that out there, you say it to people, it's so crazy how it can happen.
No, it's amazing how much it happens. And I think it's also when you start comparing yourself to other people, you block you block the opportunity to make a creative connection or a creative collaboration with somebody, because it stems from like jealousy, which is like a very low vibrational energy. And I think when you do connect with somebody who is creative, or you don't compare, it opens up so many more possibilities.
Yeah.
Like that person can be a expander for you, like bring you creativity and things like that. And if opportunities come up that don't work out, then it wasn't meant to happen.
Of course, yeah.
Because like your world expands. Maybe the next thing is what you were meant to do, and that's a totally different path. Mm-hmm. And I've had to learn that too, especially as I've gotten older, you know. Yeah. Or like the 20s are like absolutely insane and crazy, as you know. We've known each other for a very long time. We've known each other since 15? Yeah, a very long time. So 15, we kind of like seen each other grow and everything like that.
It's a long
time.
I know. Yeah, and it takes you a little bit to get like, you know, where you want to be, but I'd never regret like anything that I've done, because I feel like it's led me to like where I am now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And it's an evolution of who you are as a human being, which I think is beautiful when you come to that standpoint of realizing that.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, hey, the negative thoughts, I guess like exercising also helps, yoga, a little like meditation from time to time, and like in a lot of my music too, I try to like be positive, because I know that it helps me like through the negative stuff. So I try to like think of like an outlook about it and turn it into like a positive way, and that helps me kind of like drown out the negativity.
Yeah,
but like
cool.
I'll still talk about the negative things, but twist it to where like in the end I feel better about what I was going through.
And it must, you as a creative individual with your music, you must use that as like an emotional outlet sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I find, you know, even with my photography or my painting or whatever, like it changes, ebbs and flows every month. But I think if you have somewhat of a creative outlet, whatever that may look like, whether you're good at it or not, is important to have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because that helps you express yourself, and it's not for anybody else but yourself.
Yeah, like Jenny will be like, just kind of do some abstract painting, and even though like I just like play, but like I'm like a little kid when I do it, it releases you, you know, and you're just like, and you don't care like what it looks like, but you're just like, okay, you know, I haven't painted in a while. I need to paint with her soon, but it's just fun. It's like puts less pressure on. And when I think about when I'm doing music with my kids too, and I'm like not thinking about like creating like the perfect song, I'm just like having fun. Like that's also
You mean kids as the kids that you do for music?
Yeah, not my own kids yet.
So tell me a little bit about that aspect of your music as well.
Yeah, I basically do music therapy. I go in there and I set up a bunch of different instruments, and I let the kids kind of explore, and then, you know, we'll do different songs together, and I'll teach them different songs, or I do like a ukulele class and like a rock band class too with the kids, which is fun. And you know, they're kids, so they're wild, but like if you just like have fun with them and embrace their wildness instead of trying to just like control them as much, then it's like so much more fulfilling for like you as a teacher, and they teach you a lot about yourself, and for them, I feel like in a lot of ways. So it's been cool doing that, and I really do enjoy doing that. So I'm glad that I get to have that a part of my life as well.
Yeah,
it helps you think of like, it makes you like become a child again in a way.
I think
you like have fun.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you have your like band, your, you know, that side, and then you also have like, you work with children, you know, like day and night, you know.
Yeah.
And I think children are are just so beautiful. I just love kids so much. I always have. And I think that as adults, like you said, we can learn so much from them. Like, don't take things so seriously all the time.
You know.
Oh, I know. And I just like, sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, why am I being so serious about this? Like, life is way too short. Yes, there are some things to be serious about, but
of course,
not really.
In the end, it's like, have a good time. Let people explore what they want to explore, and and find what they like, you know, and find what makes them happy, because
I know. And it's
if they like to sing in a mic really loud over the song, you know what I mean, let them. Literally, like I'll line up mics and have my kids just like scream like Panic at the Disco songs and stuff, like ha ha house for a living, and it's like that's I don't have to like teach them the song all the way through like in an order. Like, they can just sing over the singer, and they can just have a good time, and they can just find out that they like performing, and they like jumping around, and they like how the way music makes them feel.
And that's such a good. I mean, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but this has happened to me. Anytime I always want, like, I always have this urge to go out and go dancing.
Yeah, me too.
And so, but then when I go out and go dancing, I'm like,
really?
Sometimes. But depends on how much alcohol.
That was me kind of last
back in the day.
Yeah, that was me kind of last night. Everyone was like line dancing, and I was kind of into it, but I wasn't like fully into it.
Yeah, but like kids are just like, wild animals. Yeah. Most of them. And I just think that's so, it's like eccentric dancing, like just like they feel it, it's natural.
It's like and they don't care if they look stupid. They don't care if they don't know all the words. They don't care if they're like the best singer. They'll still get up there and they'll sing, and like it's a confidence boost for them as well. Yeah. To like just go up there and sing, and if I can make an impact on them, and if I can introduce them to like how music makes me feel, then I feel like I'm doing a good job for them.
Yeah, no, I think that's so beautiful too, because I mean, there might not be a lot of kids that have that opportunity to like play with instruments and do all those things. I mean, even if their parents aren't, musical in any way, so they might have that little gene in them. Yeah. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, I don't know, kids are just awesome. I like also too that like, I think it's important too to, maybe one day you're going to be interested in painting, but 5 years from then, you might be into something totally different. And I think it's just all about evolution and everything like that.
How you grow.
Yeah, it's so cool. So another question I would like to ask is, do you think that vulnerability is important?
Yeah. Like right now, talking to this camera, it's very vulnerable.
Yes.
So, because you're just talking, and you're trying, talking about yourself, and anytime you're talking about yourself and your experiences, it's you putting yourself out there in front of people, and it's letting go. And that's something I've had to learn, because like I felt like especially in the beginning when I started music, and still to this day I'm learning to open up more, but especially in the beginning I was just like very like didn't want to share too much, because it's you're afraid of what people will think, and you're afraid of how people are going to react, and if they're going to like it, if they're not, if they're going to think it's cheesy, if they're thinking it's, stuff like that. But it's like, you have to. If you don't, then you have to put yourself out there. You have to tell things that are, vulnerable about yourself, or like, stem from another story that finds some truth within you or something. Yeah. But you have to do that, because that's how you share your story. That's the real stuff. That's the authentic stuff. That's what gets people to engage with you, and that's how you affect people. Yeah. And if you don't, then you're just like kind of going through the motions. Yeah, I know. And you're just kind of.
That's what I've noticed too, and I think I've always been vulnerable. I've always been a highly sensitive individual. Yeah. I think in my early 20s, I built up some walls, and then just in the last few years I started breaking them back down. But I think when you're vulnerable with people, like you said, you make that connection. People intuitively can feel that from you. Like, I don't know about you, but I am not a fan of small talk. I don't find it fulfilling anymore, and I think it's just like surface level. Yeah. Like, if we're talking, tell me a little bit more about who you are as a person.
Be specific. Yeah.
Like, let's get, I get deep real quick.
Yeah. I know, the first question I was like literally on the surface, and then like as the questions have gone on, like, I feel like we keep going a little bit down, and I keep it going on, because it's a broad question. If someone's like, oh, like, tell me about you, like, tell me about your life, it's like very broad. Yes. Because like music is a big aspect of my life, but it's not like my full life. It's not like me fully as a person. So it's like
it's not something that defines you.
Exactly.
Like in your soul.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, there might be a connection there.
Yeah.
Like that's a way of you expressing your soul, but it's not who you are on the inside.
Yeah.
And that's why my least also, I'm sorry, I'm saying all my least favorite things right now, but also telling someone, what do you, like the first time you meet somebody, what do you do for a living?
Yeah,
is that who they are as a person?
I met a
That's
bunch
like
of
my
people.
fifth question, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how do you, basically you're asking like, what do you do for money? And like, how do you make your money?
Which is like, to me, is not like an important thing. Like, I want to know what you're excited about right now. What you're excited about right now will tell me, like, give me a little idea of window of who you are as a person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think vulnerability, like everything you said, I think it's so important with humans and making a connection.
I mean, you're doing that right now,
Yeah.
which is, it's putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Talking to things, you know?
Yeah, and just talking about really things that are uncomfortable for people to talk about. Like, even spirituality. Like, that is such a... I feel like it's getting better. People are talking about their spirituality a little bit more, but I think it's something that also people are a little nervous about because, I mean, there's a little judgment there from the world, you know, people that are still stuck in their own little boxes. So I think if people start talking about their own spirituality and what that might look like for them, it might open the boxes a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think if you accept your brothers and sisters and love them for whatever that their spirituality might look like or whatever they are as a human, I think that's what spirituality is about, is that love and compassion and kindness for other people. And the understanding that people make mistakes. And that are human too. I just think, you know, I've had in my life situations from other people that are very religious that have been really negative and because they're judgmental, like they cast me off because I don't believe in what they believe in. Instead of trying to listen and understand and just be like, I find that so beautiful about you, but this is what I believe in, and have a mutual respect.
Of course, yeah.
So I think that's something that why I'm trying to start this platform on Rise Up on the Porch is to get the word out there, and that everybody that comes and sits with me, maybe it will resonate with somebody or anything like that. So again, very vulnerable, having idea and doing something with it, you know, it's all kind of connected. Pretty interesting.
Definitely.
So fun question, what's your favorite yoga pose?
I like pigeon because I don't know, it just feels so good. Like I literally want to do it right now.
The hips,
it's stretching your hips a little bit because I don't know, I feel like my hips sometimes
and I feel like
maybe tight.
You, like women energetically hold a lot in their hip and sacrum area.
I was literally talking to someone about this last night.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was I talking. Someone last night, we were talking about we're talking about like self-defense, like if someone like tries to like attack you, and they were like, like women that we have a lot of like, you know, energy, we have a lot of strength like in our bottom, so just try to like, I don't know, sit on them or something. It reminds me of when I was younger and like Jenny and I used to wrestle, and I just like literally would just like sit on her. Like that was my move, just to sit on her.
Oh my god, I would like get on the ground and start kicking at my sister because she like always had the upper arm strength, and I was like, I can barely do one push-up. But squats are like no problem there.
I love squats.
So that's really interesting.
But pigeon pose is a I need to do some yoga, not talk about pigeon pose. It's like happens. It's like I have 2 gigs today. Like I have like straight back to back, so it's like 7 hours of singing or something.
What I started doing is like a light yoga
like I need
flow.
some yoga before
a light yoga flow in the morning, meaning like literally 5 minutes, where it's like touching the toes, downward dog,
it's like a little stretch.
all those things.
We'll stretch right now.
All those things. So if you were a color, what color would describe you?
Okay, so I'm like really into purple right now, if you guys can see with my color therapy glasses. These are color therapy glasses that I got from the Whitney Museum in New York. And it's like, so everything right now I see is purple. And it's like, it's kind of about finding like whatever like color is best for you. And the purple is supposed to be like pretty calming. So like, I don't know, everything's pretty calming. like bringing you just like zenfulness and like also joy, like just making you like more happy. Yeah. Jenny's are bright pink and they're just,
that's like perfect
super
for her.
fierce, like everything's like the colors are super intense. But yeah, I don't know, I've it's like the color of my band. It's the color that I've been like attracting a lot lately.
I you know, it's funny. When I asked that question asked you that question, purple popped in my head, which I think is really interesting. Yeah, I know. I have these like pink glasses that make everything look like pink, rose gold. You know.
Oh, I like that rose
color. I always wear them, and then I like lift them up, and I'm like, what is it? It's a new world. Like, what's going on? It's pretty cool. And I was actually showing Mariyln. I bought all these cool, fun, heart-shaped glasses with all different colors, and I'm like, I kind of just want to keep all of these.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Aren't they cool? I love them so much. Well, I think, thank you so much.
We're done?
We can talk more if you want. We can talk more.
I think this
is a good conversation, and thank you for being my first guest.
Of course.
And maybe she'll come on again.
I need to come on again.
Maybe she'll sing a little song for us.
Yes, I have all my music equipment in the car.
Ukulele. Well, thank you so much for coming.